Hello, friends. Lindsay Law with Youth Rising. And today I am on the road in Grand Falls, New Brunswick. We are heading across the country from Prince Edward Island. And I just wanted to stop and do a video at this fun, amazing location. So I don't know how much you guys can see. I'll try and get you a picture from a different spot of the waterfall. It's not very, there's not a lot of water right now, but the rocks are really cool, so I'll try and show you. Today what I want to talk about is failure and perfectionism. I am a recovering perfectionist. I spend a lot of my life really struggling with doing anything wrong, making any mistakes, really beating myself up if things just didn't go perfectly. I wanted to get straight A's. I wanted to never have people be mad at me. It was something that really affected the way I showed up and the way I treated myself. So if you're someone who feels like you struggle with perfectionism, I get you in some way. And the one thing I want to say too, though, is that perfectionism shows up for all of us in some very different ways. So some of you, it might be more like what you look like, what others think of you. It might be kind of your perception of what is good enough, or you have this idea of what you should be able to do, or what how you should be, and if you are not able to do that, then you've failed. And so the reason perfectionism and failure are so linked is because perfectionism is kind of this intolerance for failure. It's like, well, I'm not allowed to do anything less than perfect. I'm not allowed to fail. And when we're living a life where we're not allowing ourselves to fail and make mistakes, we can, for one, create a lot of mind drama for ourselves, a lot of negative feeling about ourselves, and also it keeps us back from really doing some of the things we love and want. So what I want to say to you today is, if you feel like you are someone who struggles with perfectionism, I want you to really look at where in your life do you really get a mistake? Where in your life, if things are not just so, do you get really upset or grumpy? Because that'll kind of give you some insight as to where you're really expecting yourself to be perfect. And then when you kind of find out what part of your life that you tend to be a perfectionist in, I want you to kind of get curious and ask yourself, I wonder why that's so important to me. I wonder why I get so upset when things don't work out in that part of my life. And that will give you some insight into what is going on for you personally, because perfectionism is different for all of us. And then when you've kind of got a little bit more clarity into what is going on for you specifically, first, I want you to have a ton of compassion for yourself, which means basically you're just going to be nice to yourself. You're just going to say, hey, this is okay that I struggle with this. It's okay that I don't do this perfectly. You're going to try to be compassionate with yourself when you fail in that area. And the second thing I want you to do is I want you to be imperfect on purpose. I want you to actually try to fail and just get more comfortable with being less than perfect. So let's say you struggle with perfectionism when it comes to your appearance. I want you to try to leave the house before you feel like it's perfect. I want you to try to don't do your hair, don't do your makeup, or spend less time on it. Maybe even for some of you that take a lot of time getting ready, maybe you set yourself a time limit for how long you're going to take to get ready. When the timer goes off, you just go. And you practice just being in that discomfort of being imperfect. And just let it be there. What does that mean? What does it mean to just let it be there? It means let yourself feel uncomfortable and say, hey, I'm feeling uncomfortable right now because I am allowing myself to be imperfect and fail in a certain area. It's okay for me to do that. And I can love myself through it all. And where am I feeling that? Just look into your body. Do you feel it in your tummy? Do you feel it in your shoulder? Do you feel it in your head? It's okay to feel it and actually feel it. Okay, Another place you might struggle with perfectionism is at school with your grades. And so when it comes to school and grades and you want to get like 100%, I know, I feel ya. Again, maybe set yourself a schedule of how much time you're going to spend studying. Spend that much time studying and then let it be okay. And then when your grade comes back, have some compassion for yourself no matter what it is. Say, hey, I learned, I did my best, and that is okay. And it's going to be hard for you to actually like choose to do less than you usually would or to choose imperfection. And so notice that it's okay that it feels hard, but as you practice allowing yourself to be imperfect, it will get easier. I promise. So my coach has this approach and it's called B minus work. And it's this idea that you don't shoot for the A. You do the best you can in the time you have and you let it not be perfect. Because when we strive for perfection, a lot of times we don't do things. We don't get things done. We don't move forward. So try to let yourself aim for B minus work. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be good enough to get out there and do what you need to do. See what you think about that. And let me know in the comments how you feel about this idea of B minus work. Is that okay? Are you allowed to do that? Remember that the rules you're following are rules you're making up. No one else is making up these rules for you. So you get to change them if you want to. If the rules you're living by aren't serving you, it's okay to drop them. It's okay to do something else. You get to decide what failure means. You get to decide what perfection means. What if perfect is doing the best you can? Brené Brown talks about one of the antidotes to perfection is creativity. Because when we're being creative, like doing art, or maybe we're acting, maybe you're creating a video, maybe you're doing photography, all of these creative things that you can do, really focus on the process. Really focus on how the process goes to create something instead of focusing on the result. Now, of course, yes, when you're creating something, there is a result that maybe you're looking for. But open your mind to focusing on the process and letting the result be what it is. And I think you might find that as you focus on the process, it will allow you to create things that you didn't think you could. When you let go of creating this perfect result, you may create something that is different. You may create something that's very unique. You can choose to put it out there even if you might not think it's perfect. Because I'll tell you what, if there's something in your life or something you've created that you believe is not perfect, there are others that aren't going to see it that way and they may very well love it. And so allow that. Allow people to love the imperfectness of you because we are all imperfect. And the more we allow those parts of us to be there and to be shown, the easier it is for us to connect with people and love people and to love yourself. So, thoughts on perfectionism and failure from Grand Falls, New Brunswick, everyone. Hope you are having an amazing day. See you later. And if you are loving these videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel and like my video. And if you're looking for some more help when it comes to perfectionism and failure, check in the comments below and see how you can book a free coaching call with me, and I will give you some tips and hints on how you can manage that a little bit better. Here's the waterfall in Grand Falls, New Brunswick. It looks pretty awesome. Here we'll do like a little pano. Woo!